Hello and welcome, I'm Pia and you're watching the newsroom on NewsX World, where we track some very crucial breaking developments coming in this hour. At the top, we're tracking news coming in from the opening of the quarterly Board of Governors meeting in Vienna. IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi has urged Iran to allow inspectors access to sites targeted by Israeli and US airstrikes that took place back in June. Grossi has emphasized that despite repeated requests, inspections of the three sites, Natanz, Fordo and Isfahan, have not yet been carried out. Now, he reminded Iran that as a signatory to the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, the country has an obligation to cooperate with international inspections. Listen in.
In these facilities that were attacked, there is, I would say, we still believe, and I think this is the consensus and also being confirmed by the Iranian government, that the stockpile of enriched uranium is still there. So we need to check on that. And this is at the base. This lies at the base of these conversations we are having. How do we do it? When to do it? So I hope we'll be able to move in a constructive manner, resolution or no resolution. So it's not correct to say that because everything is destroyed, there is nothing to be seen. And in any case, if a country, and here I'm talking in general, I'm not talking about Iran in particular. If a country that has facilities under inspections informs us that something has been destroyed so we cannot perform inspections, we have to check that first. This is how a normal verification system works.
More news coming in, this time from the Middle East. Heavy rain and powerful storm surges have battered Gaza's overcrowded tent camps in recent days, flooding shelters, destroying belongings and deepening the humanitarian crisis despite the ceasefire. Now, the Hamas-run Gaza government estimates about $4.5 million in damage, with more than 22,000 tents wiped out and food, medicine and basic supplies ruined. Aid groups have at least 300,000 new tents are needed at the moment, with nearly the entire population displaced after more than 2 years of war. Thousands of families are now living in fragile shelters along the coastlines. Officials now say that flooding has turned large parts of the camps into mud-filled basins, collapsing emergency shelters and cutting off access to essentials. Listen in to what a resident in Gaza had to say.
احنا نزحنا هان من تقريبا هالقد داخلين في الشهر السابع. طلعنا قالوا لنا انزحوا على مواصي خان يونس. اجيت هان ما لقيتش مكان، دور وصلنا الشط البحري هانا، لقينا مكان حطينا هينا بعاد عن الشط تقريبا 20 متر، هيا تشوف بعينك. فهلقيتها وضعنا هان، كانت الدنيا صيف. في الصيف الامور بتمشي، انت بامكانك تنام وين ما جيت في الصيف، الجو حامي والامور طيبه. لكن اليوم احنا دخلنا على فصل الشتاء، فصل الشتاء انت عارف شط بحري ما حدا بيقدر، لا طير ولا بشر ولا بني ادم ولا حيوان بيقدر يعيش على الشط البحري. واحنا بنطالب انهم يرجعونا على المناطق هذه اللي قالوا عنها منطقه صفراء. يا عم ما ضلش صفراء ولا حمراء، احنا هلقيتها بنعاني، ما بنقدرش نعيش على البحر هنا. حرام، احنا بنطلع على الناس يطلعونا الدول اللي برا هذه، سواء عربيه ولا اسلاميه ولا اوروبيه، ينظرونا بمنظور الانسانيه يا راجل.
On that note, we turn to the story of a Palestinian pottery maker, Ahmed Attallah, who has now been dedicatedly working in his Gaza City workshop to preserve his cultural heritage despite challenges caused by the war between Israel and Hamas. Now, the workshop historically relied on machines that required high voltage electricity. But in the recent situation, much of the work, including kneading clay, is also manually done by the potters. Listen in to what he stated about changes that have occurred in his business activities post the war.
احنا هان في مصنع فخار بنعمل فيه على صناعة الأواني الفخارية اللي بيستخدموها في اللي هو الأكل والشرب قبل الحرب كان طريقة الشغل وطريقة الإنتاج أسرع وأريح وأوفر في كتير شغلات، وعندنا مكن بيحتاج لكهرباء عالية اللي هي 3 فاز كنا نشتغل عليه. اليوم كل شغلنا زي ما انتم شايفين يدوي، حتى الطين، عجن الطين كنا نستخدم له ماكينات ضخمة تعمل على كهرباء 3 فاز. اليوم هذا بيشتغلوه الشباب في ايديهم وفي رجليهم. رغم الدمار ورغم الحصار إلا إننا مستمرين زينا زي باقي هالناس، بنحافظ على تاريخنا، لأنه هذه قبل ما تكون مهنة أو قبل ما تكون أي شغلة، هذه تاريخ وحضارة وتراثنا بتعلق فيها.
In more news, Chinese Premier Li Qiang has stated that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is poised to play a greater role in advancing effective global governance, highlighting the group's growing influence amid a shifting international landscape. Li has emphasized that the bloc's joint implementation of the Global Governance Initiative provides a key opportunity for member countries to deepen cooperation and contribute to a more stable, equitable international order. He's also underlined the need for the SCO to strengthen collaboration in areas such as security, development, trade, as well as cultural exchanges, particularly as global challenges including geopolitical tensions, economic uncertainty, and technological competition continue to intensify. Meanwhile, Li has also stressed that member states should work together in order to uphold multilateralism, promote mutual understanding, and build partnerships based on equality and respect. The meeting, chaired by Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin, has brought together leaders and representatives from SCO members, observers, as well as dialogue partners and international organizations. Now, during a Council of Ministers meeting, French President Emmanuel Macron has made a controversial statement, stating that sometimes the bourgeoisie of finance drug traffickers. Now, his remark, which was reported by government spokesperson Maud Breguin, suggests that some affluent urban residents indirectly contribute to the drug trade. Listen in.
Il a insisté sur la nécessité d'avoir une approche interministérielle, du très local à l'international, et appuyé également l'importance d'une politique de prévention et de sensibilisation, puisque, et je reprends ces mots, c'est parfois les bourgeois des centres-villes qui financent les narcotrafics. Et on ne peut pas déplorer d'un côté les morts et de l'autre continuer à consommer le soir en rentrant du travail.
In more news, the French government has reiterated its firm opposition to the proposed trade agreement between the European Union